Alrighty, folks, I want to give a shout out to all the Las Vegas real estate agents. I want to let all the Las Vegas real estate agents know that I am actively looking to buy 1 or 2 rental properties in Vegas. I want to hear from you. Do you have listings that are a little long in the tooth where the owner has a decent amount of equity? The reason I want to know about these is I think we can create a win-win situation where we structure a deal first and a second, bring some money down, that everybody wins. Again, I will be using these as rental properties, so I will have to manage the total payments to rent income, but I'm sure we could do something. Again, I have a couple of $100,000 that I am willing to put to work on a couple of properties. So if you follow me on Instagram and you are a Las Vegas real estate agent and you want to talk buy box, you want to talk opportunities, hit me up on Instagram, and I can of course give you my cell number and the like. So let's go shopping. There's a lot of inventory available in Vegas, and it's time to write disrespectful offers. If you want to talk about listings, please reach out and let's see if we can't make something happen. Well, let's get to the news of the day. Obviously, yesterday we talked about the bombing in Iran. I think the biggest question now is, will Iran shut down the Strait of Hormuz? Again, if you don't know, it was last shut down in 1972. Yes, 1972. Also, 1/5 or 20% of all oil goes through that little channel. JP Morgan says an extended closure of the Strait of Hormuz could send oil up to $120 to $130 a barrel. That is $50 to $60 higher than it is right now. Again, obviously something else we need to realize is a lot of that oil goes to China. I suspect China does not want to see that happen, doesn't want to see it shut down. So hopefully there are some conversations going on where that will not happen. But hey, we need to wait and see. Let's talk about Peter Berezin. He is from BCA Research. He has updated his recession call, and he's saying it is a 60% chance of a recession in 2025. We're getting a little long in the tooth, but hey, I like people who make bold calls, and Peter is making one of them. He also highlights the S&P 500 could see a low of 4,500. According to Peter, we have a weakening labor market. I agree with him. We have trade uncertainty. I again agree with him. And he's pointing out a weakening consumer with delinquencies rising. So again, Peter thinks that the U.S. economy will see a recession in 2025. We did get U.S. leading economic indicators last Friday, and they are too flashing recession. They now have been falling for 6 months in a row. Torsten Slok, again, a chief economist, somebody we're following quite a bit, at least I am. He is pretty frustrated. He says the quality of data that we are getting on U.S. inflation is bad. In fact, the quality has gone down, which again, I don't remember which Fed president brought that up, but it's been a pretty widely known fact that the data that we are getting around inflation is outdated and wrong, which is frightening. Let's give a shout out to Logan Matsushami from Housing Wire. He gave us the next new active listings and new listings for the week, 76,181, below his hope for 80,000. But just so you know, 76,000 might feel like a lot, but if you want to compare it to the bust, which a lot of people are, we were seeing 250,000 to 400,000. If you look at the new listing data, what is basically happening is sellers are staying put. They are saying, I'm not entering the market, there's too much out there. So again, what you're going to have is only the ones that have to sell. Again, shout out all my Vegas agents. Let's talk about properties with lots of equity, and they've been on the market a long time. I am sure we can do something. Let's talk about Fed President Daly. She's out in the news. Further labor market slowing could turn into weakening. I think that is actually what we are seeing. 4 weeks in a row, we've seen the weekly unemployment claims be above 240,000, seemingly going higher. Inflation and employment risks are about equal. It's going to be interesting because I think there's a lot more people talking about tariffs not being this inflation shock or tax that maybe many had expected. Fed President Daly is going against other Fed presidents who are talking about a July rate cut. She says, rather than July, I think we're talking about the fall. Now, for me, the fall would be September, would be the meeting she's probably talking about. Again, closing out with Fed President Daly, it is possible that tariffs won't have much impact. This is important, folks. Remember, general thesis now is tariffs are going to be this 10% across the board. Lots of people now are realizing that maybe that will not be this huge inflation shock that was out there. Want to talk about a couple of quick things. Again, let's talk about getting rich. I'm always want to harp on this. If you want to get rich, I think there's something to that, saving your first $1,000 and then saving the first $10,000. That is done via discretionary income. It is step one of my wealth formula. Create more discretionary income. Step two, choose your thing. What kind of investor are you going to be? And then become elite at that. It is not time for diversification, in my opinion, as you start to plant seeds where you've chosen to get rich. And then finally, of course, the one that everybody hates, step three, you have to do it for a decade. And we are just closing up the Millionaire Mastermind over here at the Four Seasons. And we talked a lot about building a brand, about building a movement called One Rental at a Time. And I just want to let you know that writing a book turned out to be a genius move. Writing a book that summarized our story, the good, bad, and the ugly, is a stroke of genius. I highly recommend it. I also highly recommend self-publishing. It is not difficult to self-publish on Amazon. Give it a shot. Also, something that I think is very unique about One Rental at a Time, and again, a superpower, is go find 5 friends in your chosen area and talk to them every week. Talk to somebody on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It is a lot easier to create content when you have other people excited about the topic. Then number 3, you can create a course, what I call paint by numbers. Follow the script. I have, of course, how to get started, one rental at a time, $3.99. Get it on my website. That's paint by numbers. But the most valuable and the thing that I am most proud of is our school community. And if you haven't heard, folks, we finally crossed 400. We actually got 5 more people that signed up today. I will give them a shout out tomorrow. Again, creative community is something I think I'm going to be known for years, if not decades to come. You want to be there. It is where wealth builders go to grow and network and learn and frankly inspire others. I hope to see you inside school. Again, we're over 400, so I'm adding more value. We're going to add the Vegas replay. As soon as I get back to Vegas, you will have that at level 2. So more value coming. Take care, folks. Have a great day. Bye.